Hi everyone, we are back from our extended vacation. um, Today my mom is going to show you a really nice dessert, and I'm going to show you a Grandpa and Tsitsi Josie favorite. So, without further ado, I will let my mom take it away.
Good morning. Today I'm going to make very tasty tart. It's called pasta Ciotti. I looked up Ciotti, but I don't know what it means. Amy, could you look that up while I'm
Mhm.
telling them what I'm doing so we can
Mhm.
tell what Ciotti means? I
Yep.
I tried, but I can't find it. Um, this dessert is a little tiny tart. It's filled with pudding. Um, and other stuff that you could do. I only make it right now with pudding, but I'm trying to experiment with this so that I can have different fillings and flavors, etc. So, without any more discussion, I'm going to tell you what is in this pasta shoti. And all it is flour and baking powder, sugar, milk, butter and Crisco, a little salt. And that's it. Now, the recipe calls for only Crisco. But as I have mentioned in a lot of the other videos I have done, that I love the taste of butter. So I cut it in half so I have a half of Crisco and a half of butter. You don't have to do that because it will be just fine. I just love that little flavor of butter. So we're going to start. So first I'm going to put in my flour and baking powder is already in here. Then I'm going to add my sugar and I'm going to put down the paddle and I'm going to mix it a little bit. So it becomes all incorporated when we add the butter and the milk. Now, next I will add the butter and the Crisco. Oh, I got a little piece of paper stuck on the Crisco. That and the butter. And I
Okay.
will mix this till it becomes nice and incorporated. It has to go a little bit, not too much.
Right.
You want the whole thing to be mixed. This is not like pie crust. Like it is kind of like pie crust, but it's not the same kind of thing. You don't have to get little pea-sized morsels or anything like that. You just want it all incorporated, all of your um, Crisco, butter, and um, flour all incorporated. Okay. Next, I'm going to put in a little flavoring. The recipe calls for um, vanilla, but I love almond. It tastes so much better. You get a much better flavor with almond than you do with vanilla. But of course, you can use um, vanilla, whatever, or you could use lemon, or you could use orange, whatever you would like in this. Okay, so then I've got my milk, and I'm going to add this a little at a time. I'll turn on the machine, and I'm going to add this a little at a time because I don't want it to become too soft.
So, I did find some information.
Okay.
There's a lot of stories floating around, but this one, the word pasticcio means a mess.
A what?
So there is some. The one story said that the man who invented it called it a mess. That's why he created the name pasticcioti from pasticcio, meaning a mess. So I'm not sure, if it's just a story or if it's, true, but that's what's floating around and has some could be the reason why it's called pasta Ciotti, from pasticcio, meaning a mess. So if anybody else out there who's watching us comes to a different conclusion, please let us know.
Now, I'm going to let this go a little bit, a minute or so, 2 minutes at the most, so it becomes all, I don't know the word for it, soft and pliable, so that when we roll it out, it's going to be easy to do.
I do think it's funny if it is true that it comes from the word pasticcio, meaning a mess. It's kind of funny because this little tart is nothing like a mess. I mean, it's cute.
I know.
They're so cute.
I know.
And they're so fun to eat.
Oh, I have made these. Oh, I can't tell you how many times.
I know.
When I moved here and I started to bake in this apartment complex for people, let me do holidays and, treats once in a while for the residents of my complex. This little tart is something that they absolutely loved. Unfortunately, not all of my complex people were lucky enough to get it. Only a few. They all didn't get this. Only a few were lucky enough to get it.
That's funny.
My dough is complete. I'm just going to bear with me a little bit. I'm going to move this so I can start rolling out the dough. I need more room. I thought I had a lot, but I don't.
While you're doing that, I'll tell them a little story about our pasta Ciotti experience.
Okay.
So my mom has a friend, Father Werner, and he's a priest. He goes all over the areas in New York State, and he's from Utica, right?
Yep.
So
yes.
We had gone and visited him. I think he had gone back to Utica at one point, and we had gone and visited him, and he had said that we needed to stop at this place called Florentine's Bakery because they had amazing pastries. And that's true. They have amazing pastries. So my mom, when she went there, she talked to the owners and had a long conversation about her Italian heritage and such. And we had these little pasta Ciotti, and these were pretty big. I remember them being big, pasta Ciotti. But they were so good. I know we had some coffee, or I didn't have coffee. I was, a teenager. But we had, we stopped for to eat some of the desserts and to have a drink. But the funny part was my mom brought back tons and tons of pastries. And her words were, I don't know when I'm ever going to get back here, so I have to buy them all.
You know what? I never went back.
I know. So it's a good thing she went.
I never went back to Utica.
It was just so funny. But I remember her saying, I can make these. I can do this. And she would do that with everything. I can do this. So she figured it out, and she's been making them ever since.
Yes, I have. Okay, so the dough is complete. What I have here, I have purchased, you could do it different ways. I have purchased these little tart shells.
Mm-hmm.
To make the pasta Ciotti because they're so pretty because it has a fluted edge. You could also do this in a cupcake pan. Okay. You can do it in a muffin tin.
Mm-hmm.
If you have different tart shells, you could do them in there too, as long as it's deep, not shallow. Deep. Do
you think it would work in that brownie pan?
Possibly. Possibly. But I
Possibly.
think the square would be not conducive to.
Because the squares are too small? Okay, I see. Because they're not flared enough?
You might try it. I'm not sure. I'd have to try it to see because you
Right.
have to. They're square,
Sure, sure.
done round.
It's another adventure we have to go on.
Yes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sprinkle a little flour on here. I'll take a little bit of my dough. Now let me show you the dough, what it looks like. See what I'm doing? I can really nicely squeeze it. It's just so pliable. Okay. So I'm going to sprinkle a little flour. I'm going to roll it out. And to about a 1/4 inch thick. So I can cut circles out of here. Now, when I'm lazy and I don't want to do this, what I do is I get my dough, I pinch off a little piece, and I put it right into the tart shell. I just press it all the way around, and it goes fast. But I'll show you the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah. Only after you have done this enough can you start doing it the lazy way.
Exactly.
I had a teacher, co-teacher, who used to say all the time, only when you know the rules can you start breaking them.
Okay, so here's my little tart shell. Here is a cutter. Okay. I'm going to cut a circle. Now I'm not sure if this one, I think it's good. So I'm going to take this circle. I'm going to place it into my tart shell and pinch it down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pinch it down and make it come up a little bit above the edge, just a little bit. Make sure that you don't get it too thin because you're
Mm-hmm.
going to get a hole in the bottom. Okay, if
Gotcha.
you do get a little piece of dough and just press it in there to fix it. So here is my first tart shell, and as you can see, it's just a little bit above on the rim. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a little bit above. Okay, so let me do another. I'm going to cut all the circles out first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, if I can do it on this one, I'll do 4. I'm going to cut all the circles I need because I need a bottom and I need a top. So if I do 4, I'm going to do 8. If I did 1, I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to roll out more. Okay. So I'm going to put this in here. Now, the filling that you're going to see is going to be vanilla pudding, which you'll see the recipe for it on the when you go and watch the video, you'll see the recipe for it. You it's from scratch. It's a pudding from scratch, and you could also make a chocolate pudding, and you could do it 1 or 2 from scratch. I mean, okay, you can buy a box, okay. Not instant. Instant, I don't think will taste. I've never done it, so I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be good. But I just don't think instant pudding will bake up nice when you bake these in the oven. But
Gotcha.
try it, okay? But you can use a box and make chocolate pudding and that way because that's basically all the ingredients in the box that you need, and you're just adding milk to it, okay? Um, Anyways, back to the pudding. So there's a recipe, and you can do it 1 of 2 ways. If you want to make chocolate, you make the vanilla pudding. But if you want to make a chocolate pudding, you could use cocoa powder. I will put the recipe on how to do it. You could use cocoa powder when you're making the recipe from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You add cocoa powder and sugar and a little bit extra to your mixture. If you want to use melted chocolate chips, you melt your chocolate chips, and then when your pudding is finished, you can add um, the melted chips right directly to the hot pudding,
Hmm.
and you have a beautiful, nice, chocolatey, very chocolatey pudding for the filling. So what I did yesterday was I made my pudding already, and I cut it in half because I don't need all of it. And the half for the chocolate, I melted my chocolate chips. I took the off the heat. The chocolate chips were melted. I took 3 teaspoons, heaping teaspoons, put it into the mixture, stirred it all around, and there was my chocolate pudding. It was it. It
Nice.
was quick.
Nice.
Okay, so now I've got a top. I've got 2 tops. Okay, I'm gonna roll this out. Um, again,
I know we were talking also about like experimenting with maybe like a cherry pie filling
oh
or like
yes,
maybe a peach pie filling or a
I,
blueberry
I,
pie filling
I,
because we know pie fillings will definitely,
yes,
cook right because they're pie filling.
exactly,
Um,
yes, yes.
I also saw when I was researching just now that you could use ricotta.
We're going to do that today. I'm going to show
Oh,
you.
there
Yep,
you go.
yep.
Who knew?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
I think this dough is great because it's a very nice texture.
Oh, it is. It's so easy to work with these tarts. Okay, now I'm all ready to go. I'm going to get my pudding out. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, I have a chocolate pudding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of these. I'm going to put my chocolate pudding in here. Now, when you do this, fill it as close to the top as you can, but you need to give some room for the top piece of dough. But you want to fill it because when it bakes, the pudding will shrink. And if you don't have enough in there, you won't get that beautiful pudding.
Right.
Really what you want.
It'll be like dough with just a tiny bit of pudding.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. I've done it. It doesn't taste good. Okay, so I'm going to do another one with the chocolate. Okay. Here's the chocolate one. That's done for that. Now the vanilla. I should have done the vanilla first.
That's funny. I like your little containers. They're nice.
Yeah, I love them.
They're so cute.
Okay, so now I got vanilla pudding. Oh, I forgot one thing about the pudding. You could use different flavorings, but I will tell you that almond, I think, is #1 flavor to put in the pudding. And when you put your flavoring in, you put it after your pudding is done, not before, because it'll burn out. You will not get a nice flavor of the extract.
Makes sense.
Put it in after. You let the pudding cool just a little bit, and then you put in the flavoring.
Well, could you even do it like once it's completely cooled and then just mix it in?
You don't want the pudding to become that you can't stir it very well.
Oh,
Now,
I see what you mean.
you see this. This pudding has been in the refrigerator, but once you let it cool, it's going to become more coagulated.
So then you can't. Then you really got. Oh, I gotcha.
It doesn't. No, you got to do it when
So it's like a medium.
more on the liquid style.
More on the liquid side. I gotcha.
So Okay, one more. Okay. Um, no, I don't want that. Oh, here it is. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some ricotta. Okay. And I'm going to put a little ricotta in my bowl. Now, if you, I mean, I'll give you the whole recipe of what to do, but this is just for us to just do this right now. Okay. So I've got ricotta. And I have to have some sugar in here. This is almost like having like a cannoli filling, you know.
Wow.
And then some mini chocolate chips or shaved chocolate. Whereas I had a knife out here, but where did I put it? No, I had it. Oh, here it is. Or shaved chocolate, shaved. You could even put dried fruit maybe into this. Got that. Stir it around. Oh my God, it still smells so good. Oh, yum. Mm. Okay, so these are the next two. I'm going to fill it with ricotta. Oh, I think this one's going to be the best. Ricotta. Wow. This is, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think so. Oh, it's so pretty too when you put it into the tart. Okay. So this is what the ricotta one looks like.
Nice.
Okay. Now you take your top, okay, place it on top of here, just like so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you go all the way around the rim and you press it so that it attaches to the bottom dough. That's why I said make a little bit above the edge. Okay.
Yes. So you have some to attach. Gotcha.
You want it to attach. I think I made this one, these rings too big. You got to make the rings a little bit smaller, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not going to ruin the, if it's too big and it's a little scraggly, no problem.
Maybe that's why they called it a mess, because they, they were like making like pinching, and maybe they didn't have these cool fluted tarts, and they had like who knows.
Easier to I think it's easier if you set it down and you don't hold it up. I hold it up just for you to see.
Right.
And you set it down and you pinch together all so that they both the bottom dough and the top dough attaches and seal. And you go all the way around to seal your dough. I can't wait I hope you make these because you will be so amazed at the flavor of this pasta Ciotti. It's
what's funny is this is something that's for me would be easy. Like this is something that I know I could actually accomplish if I could eat wheat.
And this is a nice thing if you have kids, grandparents with your grandkids, or if you're the young crowd. I'm the old crowd. You could with your children. This is a very, really easy the filling part, of course.
Yeah.
You can mix it in the mixer if they're above maybe 10, 11 years old.
Sure.
But it's not hard to do because you're just putting in the dough in the little tart, you're filling it, and you're putting the top on.
And I like that it's like a little, it's like a little mini pie. You know, you don't have to have the whole pie. It's a little one.
It's a little mini pie. Yes.
So I think it's really cool. I was saying that if I could eat wheat, but it's not that I'm having some gluten things. So maybe maybe I'll experiment and see if I can use a gluten-free flour.
Yeah, I think you could have one.
I could have one.
That's it.
I'll have to find people to give them to.
Exactly.
Give the rest away.
So now
I don't live in an apartment complex, so hopefully my neighbors will appreciate it.
I have all my tarts done.
Look how cute those little tarts are. Nice.
Okay. And
very cute.
An egg wash over them. And after you put the egg wash over this, you're supposed to put it into the refrigerator for 30 minutes.
Oh.
Before you bake them. And it doesn't, I don't know why, but I think it keeps its shape.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Well, you know, I was watching a movie. It was a Hallmark movie, and it was about a baker, and she did say something about how the colder the dough, the better things bake, so that it doesn't blow up, so it doesn't expand quickly.
Oh, yes.
Maybe this dough being cold makes it bake better because then it doesn't like blow up.
Exactly. So we're going to have to leave you now because or do you want to do
we're gonna do a pause so
right.
that my mom can get them in the oven, and then we'll come back.
Bake them, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the final product.
Right, and then I'll do my we have another one that I'm gonna do that was Grandpa and Sissy Josie's. You know.
Okay. All right. See you soon.
Okay, we are back. So my mom was letting me know that the tarts have to cool before she can cut into them. So we're going to do the recipe that I have for everyone, and then once my portion's done, then we'll show what the tarts look like, what the pasta Ciotti look like when they're cooled. Okay, so my recipe is fried egg and peppers, fried green pepper and egg sandwich. And it may sound like it's, simple, but there's a funny story that goes along with it for me. And then my mom, her story has to do with the fact that she hates eggs. So I'm going to show everyone what I've done here. Okay, so there will be a recipe. I'm using more eggs than the recipe calls for because I'm saving some for my husband. So Dave will actually get, a treat as well. He won't get any pasta Ciotti, but he definitely will get fried peppers and eggs.
I don't think maybe I can mail them.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to use 4 eggs. I'm going to crack the eggs into the bowl. Making sure no shells are getting in there. And then I cut the peppers two ways. My grandpa, my mom's dad used to slice them.
Yes, he sliced
And then
right.
My grandpa's sister, now this is chopped a little bit finer than she chopped them because I used my food chopper right here. But she used to cut them into like little chunks. So we're going to use it two different ways. So I'm going to bring everyone to the stove. Okay. So can you see?
Yep.
The griddle pan and the stove and oops. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay, you can see that. Okay. So I'm going to mix. Going to beat the eggs. I know you can't see this, but I'm pretty sure people have beat eggs before.
I don't remember everything he put in there. I probably put a little salt and pepper when he was, I'm not sure because I did not like eggs. And so I would never eat the fried pepper and egg sandwiches. And that seemed to be a big staple in my.
So you think he put pepper in the eggs themselves?
I have a feeling he might have put a little bit, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt to, so that the egg, it was incorporated in the egg rather than putting it on top. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that's probably what he did. I'm not saying the right way, but I'm saying that's probably what Grandpa did.
Okay, so I did that. I put
one thing Grandpa liked was salt.
eggs.
That was what he used a lot of it.
Okay, so I got my griddle pan all ready to go.
And when he did these fried peppers, of course, he didn't use a griddle pan. He used a frying pan. I know he used a lot of olive oil.
Yes, well, I'm using the griddle pan. I'm using the griddle pan so I don't have to use a ton of olive oil.
Yes.
I'm just using a little bit.
Right. Yes.
Really, I'm only using the olive oil for flavor. Because my griddle pan.
The fried peppers, okay, it really, okay, if you want to make it just plain because you don't want the olive oil, you can do it. But the fried peppers tend to taste better when it has that olive oil flavor in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I've eaten the fried peppers without the eggs, and it's pretty delicious when you have the oil in it. Now, the other thing that he might have done, and I don't know, it's something that you could do, when you're making this fried pepper pan. He may have put garlic when he was frying that all up. I don't know, because I didn't watch him very carefully. What I do know is that when he did cook these peppers up, that they were pretty nice and soft, not like crunchy.
Okay, so you know what? I'm actually going to turn this griddle up high to get them really quickly. I'm putting, my stove has, the big surface in the front and the small surface in the back.
Oh.
And the one thing I can't stand about stoves, having these small surfaces. So you have to put, for this griddle pan, you have to put anything that's like bigger in the front.
Yes.
Like if these peppers are
right
larger, like they're sliced. The chopped version though can go in the back because it's not as much surface area, so they'll cook up a little bit quicker. So I remember, so my funny story while we're waiting for these peppers to get soft is the first time I never had Grandpa, I never remember Grandpa making these. He probably made them a lot, but he just used to, I only remember hamburgers and you know, cheeseburgers with Grandpa. I wasn't always there for breakfast at Noni's and Grandpa's house, but Sitzy Josie, we were going to Hershey Park, and her daughter lived down in that area, and we were going on a little, you know, trip to go see Sissy Josie's daughter, and Sissy Josie, of course, was coming along. So I remember going the morning of, we had to go pick up Sissy Josie, and I'm pretty sure my mom sent me in to go get her. And Sissy Josie was still making food. She was making fried pepper and egg sandwiches. And so I remember watching her make she chopped up all the peppers and she fried them in the pan, and then she poured the eggs over top, and she, you know, made the sandwiches and she put them on the bread and folded them all over. But I do remember it's not 100% perfect, but I remember my mom coming in and saying, okay, we got to get going. Like, what's going on? Because I was in there for a long time. Like, I never came back out. But I do remember, you know, like this, and Sissy Josie was like, well, I got to make this. We got to make them for lunch, you know? So, it was so funny because as we were driving along, this is what my mom remembers, and I kind of remember it. We were starving. We were so hungry. And my mom doesn't eat anything eggs. Never has eaten, you know, she hates eggs. So we're all we're all eating this fried egg and pepper sandwiches, and my poor mother does not have no sandwich for my mom. It was so funny. But that was my first true memory of fried egg and pepper sandwiches. And ever since then, I've loved them. Oh my gosh.
Well, you know, like I said, my father, you know, made this recipe. I mean, this was a staple in our household. And I do remember sometimes if I caught him before he went to go put the eggs in, he would keep some of the peppers out so that I could have it with no eggs. And I will tell you, having a sandwich, fried peppers, I mean, I loved fried peppers on a sandwich. They were very, very tasty. Very tasty.
Maybe that makes sense as to why he sliced them versus.
Could be.
I don't know.
You know, I was too young to really know why he did things. I just remember he did it. But I do know that this fried peppers and eggs was a big staple in our house. We could have it for dinner. We could have it for lunch. You could have it for breakfast. My father was always cooking eggs. It was like one of the things he did with everything. Like you put an egg in it. And I'd be like, oh, do you have to put eggs? He probably would have liked this griddle.
The griddle, yeah. Well, I'm sure he was used to it cooking for, I mean, he cooked for different restaurants, right?
I don't know what he used in the restaurant. I don't know if they had a griddle or if they had big frying pans. I have no idea. I don't know.
That's true. They could have had just big frying pans.
He made, you know, sauces and stuff like that. So they may have had, you know, big frying pans for all I know. I mean, I never went inside the kitchen of the restaurant. And really, it was, what you would call a bar. It wasn't what you would say a restaurant.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was a bar. And so he would cook stuff. So they probably didn't have a big kitchen restaurant.
Makes sense.
It was on Oakdale Avenue. No, I'm sorry. It was on Oak Hill Avenue down by the tannery. And all of the men would come in there, have a sandwich, a beer, and then go back to work. So that's what he cooked for until he went to work in the tannery.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down now that it's smoking up my house. Oh, great. Dave, lock the window. This is good. Oh. I hope he just, nope, he locked both. Okay, great. Just peachy.
What did he do?
He locked both parts of the window so I can't open it.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe it's the terrible part about being short. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I got that window open. Now let's see if I can get the other window open. Oh, this he did not lock. Oh, that's funny. Okie dokie. Hilarious. Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't want to set up the smoke alarms because I can't reach those either.
Oh, right. It would be a good thing if you want them to probably get softer quicker. You might want to put a cover on top of that, like it's steaming it.
I don't know if I have any kind of cover.
Oh, no frying pan cover, like a big, probably don't have a big one.
Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. I think I do. I have one.
The bigger slices will take, the smaller one's probably going to get softer faster.
Okay.
There you go. Now I'm going to tell you a little trick that I did the other day with peppers. And it's only if you have an Instant Pot.
Or a pressure cooker.
Or a pressure cooker, yes.
I mean, an Instant Pot is a pressure cooker, but any pressure cooker will do.
Right. So what I did was I wanted to make a cheesesteak sandwich. And I didn't want to put the peppers and onions on the frying pan and let them cook and cook. It was going to take too long because I was hungry. So I had my Instant Pot, and so I have a liner that I can put in so that the peppers don't touch the water, because you must have water when you use your Instant Pot. So I sliced the peppers up and I put this in a liner with the onions. I went a little bit too long, so I'm going to say 2 to 3 minutes, and I let it do its thing, and I opened it up, and my peppers were the perfect softness for the cheesesteak. I mean, I could not believe it. So what I did was I had a little oil in the pan, and I wanted to get the olive oil taste in the peppers. So I threw them into an onion. So I threw them into the frying pan, turned up the heat, and did a quick stir so I can get like a caramelization on them. And then I took them out and I put them on my sandwich. And it was the easiest thing to do. That's if you have an Instant Pot or a pressure cooker. in order to get your peppers done more quickly. That's if you're in a hurry. I mean, if you're preparing a meal and you put your peppers and all of your stuff cooking, and you're taking your time to make your sandwiches and stuff, that's fine, okay? But if you're in a hurry, you want it to be done quickly because you can do other things while your thing is in the instant pot. You can be frying up your steaks, getting your cheese ready, getting your bread ready, and then you can take that thing out, take your peppers and onions out, and you're all set to go.
Now we're gonna have to make cheesesteak sandwiches.
So what are you doing now?
So I'm adding the eggs to the back one.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna check the front one and see if that one. They're getting there.
Yeah, they will take longer.
Okay, I don't mind my peppers being totally
Yeah.
So I'll eat the front ones. Dave can have the back ones because he doesn't like peppers that are
crunchy. Yeah, I don't like peppers that are crunchy either.
Okay, so
now you've put your eggs on top of your peppers. There you go.
You're making it like an omelet, not like scrambled.
No scrambled. Right, exactly. You're right. You want it to be like an omelet. Right, exactly.
Okay.
Very good.
And usually you can see, if it's too liquidy, then you have to wait till it's a little bit more
done. Right.
Before you flip them.
Yeah.
But you can see the back one is pretty much done. Okay, so I got my. Can you see that? Okay, Mom, the bread or?
Yes.
Okay. That's hilarious.
What?
I picked up the bread earlier and it completely dried.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. The eggs will moisten them up.
Oh, okay.
But it was funny how it got a little dry. Okay, so.
I can't. You gotta.
Yeah, I'm gonna in a second. I'm just gonna get this one taken off the.
Okay. Yeah, that looks like how we did it.
Okay. We just shut off the stove.
Just cut it up and put it on the sandwich.
So, let me get the camera back. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little got some miscombobulation right now. Trying to get this camera back.
Yeah, that's the problem. We don't have somebody filming us.
Yes.
We have to do it ourselves.
We're on our own for filming.
We're on our own.
Okay, let me get these out of the way.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the one with the larger peppers.
Yeah, very nice.
And there is the one in the sandwich. And
let's see the inside.
There you go. There's the pepper sandwich.
Oh, wow.
And you can make these ahead of time, and then you can take them on your trips. You can put them in aluminum foil.
Yep.
Put them in your cooler. And there you've got breakfast or lunch or dinner.
Sissy, Josie, and Grandpa would be so proud.
They would.
The fried peppers and egg sandwich.
It is quite funny how both of them, made the same meals,
So you know that they probably had that
a lot.
a lot. Okay. I
Yep.
mean, remember, Grandpa, there was 9 children in that family, all
Yeah.
lived in one little tiny house,
Yeah.
and they didn't have much at
No.
all.
No.
And but they did have eggs, and they did have
Yes.
vegetables.
That's
Okay.
true. That's
So
true.
I'm sure that that was something that Grandpa probably ate a lot of. Okay.
Hmm.
Probably was better for you than
Oh
anything
yeah.
you make.
Yeah. I mean, it's fresh, no processed, fresh ingredients, homemade. You know, I love eggs. I mean, it's really kind of funny how much my mom doesn't like eggs, but I love eggs. My dad loved eggs. My sister loves eggs. We
My
love.
my granddaughter loves eggs.
Yeah.
My grandson loves eggs. Me, uh-uh.
So our favorite, and this is going to gross my mother out, but our favorite is when my grandpa would make sunny side or
Oh,
sunny side up. Is that what it's called? Or well, he would take the eggs and they're liquidy, and he would like my nonna would toast the bread, put butter on it, and he'd make the sunny side up, and you dip your bread in the eggs. Oh, that was the best.
and do you know who does that?
Amanda, right?
Nora.
Oh, Nora. Nice, nice.
And I said to Nora, you're not going to really make me make eggs sunny side up, are you? We call them drippy eggs.
Droopy eggs. Cute, cute. I love it. I love
Yes.
it. I love
So
it.
I'm not sure if the pasta Ciotti are cool, but I can go and check.
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to pause?
Why don't you pause? Because it'll
Okay.
take me a minute to go get the things and put them on a platter and
Okay.
bring them out here so I can cut them. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll
Right.
pause. Okay, so now the reveal of our pasta Ciotti.
Okay.
So that's what they look like when they're in the little finished in the tarts in the little tart pan.
Okay. So what you're going to do is if you give it just a little squeeze, just a little bit. Well, it's better this way. Take your knife and stick it in there. And you might have to go pull a little bit. It'll come right out.
Nice. Aw, how cute. See,
Little.
aren't they adorable?
I'm going to okay. Now what I've done is I cut one.
Mm-hmm.
This is your
Oh, very nice.
side. See how the pudding you filled it,
Mm-hmm.
and see how it kind of settles, but there's a lot of pudding in there.
Exactly.
All right. So
You don't have to cut. You don't have to cut them all, Mom. That was fine.
okay. I do want to show you the ricotta. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I think I'm getting the right one. I hope so. No, that's the chocolate. Where's the ricotta? Let's see. I should have put a little mark on it. I usually do. I usually put a little mark on the an X or something. Nope.
As she's cut them all.
No. No, that's really chocolatey. I wonder though if the chocolate melted. Oh yes. Okay. Okay. You can't really see this, but the chocolate melted.
Oh, I see it. Yes, the chocolate. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think I put too many chocolate chips.
Gotcha.
If
But that's okay.
what?
That's okay because I mean you can still taste the ricotta flavor.
Yeah, yes. I am going to taste it to make sure that, this is yes. You can taste the ricotta flavor. but I did put too many chocolate chips. I will adjust this when I do the recipe,
Mm-hmm.
so you will know, like, only to put maybe a tablespoonful in
Mm-hmm.
a whole container of ricotta, the whole recipe, because you do want to taste the ricotta, not the chocolate chips. So there is our pasta Ciotti. This one's better,
Nice.
right? There is our pasta Ciotti. We hope you enjoyed the watching this being made.
Exactly.
Um, don't hesitate to send any questions that you have about the pasta Ciotti.
Or the fried pepper and egg sandwiches. I know those are much simpler to make.
Yes, exactly.
This will be available on YouTube and our Facebook page. We'll have the recipe in the YouTube comment or YouTube description of the video, and then in the on the Facebook page, it will be in the it'll be a file that you can download. So
Yes.
either way, we'll have a lot of variety of places you can watch this video. I will be when I upload this to YouTube, I'm going to share it on our Facebook page, the YouTube video, so that I don't have to upload it into two different places. I'm uploading it to one place and then sharing it in both places. So I'm going to make sure that on our Facebook page you can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to do that. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed today's welcome back to our show after our mini hiatus.
Stay tuned for more delicious entrees and desserts.
Exactly.
Have here. Until then,
Mm-hmm.
arrivederci. Buon appetito.
Ciao.